Hello, Internet. Jesus loves you. My name's Cody, and this is the Christian News Show we do on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays with geeksundergrace.com. As always, before we get news, there are a couple things that I want to talk about. First of all, I haven't used my Facebook page in a very long time anymore. I just use my personal profile. We need to go look at it again because I am repurposing it to do vlogs. There are going to be, cell phone vlogs every once in a while, but mostly what I'm thinking about doing is having them just be like this, except instead of talking about the news, we're just talking about my thoughts. And it'll be thoughts about everything, not just Christianity. So I'm kind of excited for it, but I'm going to be giving out my thoughts. And as always, I want to know what your guys' thoughts are. So I'm hoping you guys go check it out. We can create community there as well. And secondly, of course, if you want to help support the show, you can do that by sharing this video. That does amazing things. Or right over here, you could actually do it financially if you wanted to. And the first story of the day, I did want to update us on Saeed Abedini. For those of you who don't know, he has been in prison in Iran for years now because he is a Christian. Now, granted, this is like he said, she said to the max. But according to his wife, Saeed said that the guards said they would never let him go until he denied Christ, according to the news. Now, this could be a really bad game of telephone, but if it's true, it's not really all that surprising. And really, that's how it's always been since he was arrested. But it really puts into question what the government is doing, if they are doing anything at all. It's just that it's been so back and forth, and the government can't really give us transparency on what is happening because they are talking with another government. I mean, all we really have to go on is the government's kind words of hope and our own prayers. Hopefully soon, and then that becomes enough. Moving on to much less important news, but still very cool, Tim Tebow will be back in the NFL. He's been gone since 2013, but he will now be playing for the Eagles. Supposedly, he's been able to fix his throw, one can hope. Honestly, it's just really cool to see a big voice in Christianity back at it. Next up, Creflo Dollar is in the news again. This time not asking people for money, but actually telling them that the prosperity gospel is not a thing. He says there is only one gospel, and it is the gospel of grace, saying that all the money that you have is not yours, but it is God's. So I know this guy has been the butt of jokes for a while now, but hearing something like this from someone so well known is a very good thing. I can't imagine being a famous pastor because as soon as they do something wrong, people start throwing stones at them. And I'm not pointing fingers at anyone, I did it too. And as bad as it seems in hindsight, I do think that it is a good thing that stuff like this happens because you have people like Creflo Dollar going, hey, this is how I actually feel. I mean, it's opinion from Creflo Dollar that we may not have heard if we didn't have him wanting the best jet in the world. And the final story of the day, I need to step up on my soapbox quick. 6 men from Minnesota were arrested with ties to ISIS. 4 of them arrested in Minneapolis, and 2 of them made it all the way to San Diego. On Sunday, they were arrested for conspiracy and providing material. It's one thing to overly trust the government and say the government will protect us, but it's a totally different thing to say that ISIS is not here, because they are. Granted, not in large numbers, but in larger numbers than there were. And if we completely ignore it and pretend that there is nothing that possibly could happen, we're going to be in trouble. I understand, don't fear terrorism, because then the terrorists win, but we do need to at least fight back. Though I have to admit, as I am saying these words, I'm like, what can we actually do? And I don't really have an answer to that, but at the very least, just be aware. At the bare minimum, know what's going on. I'll get off my soapbox now. And I don't really have a question of the day today, so anything I talk about today, you can leave a comment with your own opinions in the comment section down below. Make sure you check out geeksundergrace.com. My name's Cody. I read Christian news in a not so boring kind of way every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. In closing, let the haters hate, let the Christians pray. To everybody like, subscribe. I will see you later, and God bless.